Hey, we're taking a road trip. We're in Nashville, Tennessee. We're driving up to Louisville. Allie's inside getting Gatorade and chips or whatever. I've also grabbed my brother-in-law, Rob, and we'll explain why we're going to Louisville when we get to Louisville. All right, we'll see you in about 3 hours. Hey, greetings from Louisville, Kentucky. We're in front of this house right here that we purchased a couple months ago. It's actually day two, so it's been a bit of a whirlwind last 30 hours or so. Landed here yesterday about 12 o'clock. Got the keys from the realtor, came to the house, did a walkthrough, which was our first walkthrough inside the house that wasn't a video walkthrough. And a little bit of a shock when we first went in because we had seen all the photos and we had done the video walkthrough before, but everything when you're in there on your own for the first time, it definitely seems a lot smaller. You can see a lot more imperfections in the doors and the windows and the walls and the ceilings and all of that stuff. So that took us about 7 minutes, and then we had about 7 minutes to say it is what it is. We're going to get through it. We're going to get this thing ready to rent, which is our goal. And about 7 minutes after we calmed down, the property manager came down, and she did a really good job of calming us down and letting us know that most of the things are pretty minor. From yesterday afternoon, we spent about 5 or 6 hours, started cleaning up. We went to Walmart, picked up some items. My folks actually drove up from Nashville, Tennessee, so they came up and they helped for a few hours. We kind of just got started on all the general cleaning, and so it was good. And then got to our Airbnb last night and got dinner, had a few drinks, was up at 6 a.m. this morning and rolled out a little after 7 a.m. Went to Lowe's. We got a refrigerator, which we needed, and then a bunch of supplies, lumber, and just paint and things like that. So now it's the middle of day two, and we've been just cleaning. Rob has been working under the sink. There was a leak there. My mom has been painting the cabinets. Dad spent some time weed whacking out in front until the weed whacker died, and we don't have the charging base. So I saw a guy nearby. We cleaning somebody else's lawn and paid him $25 to come over and get ours finished up. And right now Rob's in the backyard working on the deck. Allie's been painting doors and all sorts of good stuff. So we've got maybe 2 or 3 more days. I know I got my folks and Rob for one more day. My three nieces are here with my sister Ann, and they just arrived a couple hours ago, so that's fun. They're back at the Airbnb. So it's a family affair. Maybe tomorrow as we finish up, I'll go over our plan for the property and how we chose this particular house. And hopefully by the time this video airs, we'll be able to explain or we'll be able to let you know that we rented it. Day three in the books. We see a finish line. Allie's painting the back deck right now. She'll finish up tomorrow. She's already done the front of the house. My folks left a couple hours ago, and they did a lot of work over 2.5 days. Rob, he finished underneath the sink today, had rotted out from a leak, and he finished rebuilding the deck back here. We did a lot of caulking inside and out. And what else do we do? We've done so much. I don't even know.
Just so much cleaning and painting. Like we had to repaint all the trim inside because it was just dirty. So I scrubbed it, repainted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of cleaning.
Yes, and we had our nieces here to help too, so that was wonderful. But yeah, we're hopefully tomorrow, by midday tomorrow, we'll be completely done. It'll be ready to rent.
And your parents.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned. Yeah, my parents did a lot. Yeah, my parents and Rob have done like mostly. They've actually done most of the work. You know, Allie, she does a little bit here and there.
Your mom repainted the kitchen cabinets.
So we're moving along. All right, tomorrow we'll finish up. We'll give the tour of the finished product, and then we'll let you know what when we get a renter. All right, there go the Uptons, Rob, Ann, and nieces. A lot of work. We'll start inside. Done over the last few days. I was just doing the last little bit of cleaning up. Cleaning windows, light fixtures, painted cabinets, got the refrigerator, cleaned the floors, cleaned all the outlets, countertops. We put liners in the countertops. We added a CO2 detector. We added the vent down here, cleaned the floors in here, cleaned up the HVAC a little bit that's in there. Bedrooms, again, windows, outlets, cleaned the light fixture that's up there. Cleaned the floors, obviously. Did a lot of touch-up painting on windowsills. In the bathroom, we did a lot of, throughout the house, a lot of caulking in the corner, caulking down below, added in the towel rack here and the toilet paper roll and the towel hanger there. And then in the master, again, lots and lots. Oh, and the vents, we had to clean all these vents up here, light fixtures. And then Allie finished painting earlier today, so the deck's painted. Rob, a few days ago, obviously finished fixing the deck, all the repair work, mowed. And I also did some trimming of branches and stuff back here. So this is it. Did a lot of repair work to the siding. We just kind of spray painted the little imperfections. We replaced the roof, cleaned the siding, and then Allie painted the front deck. So as we pull back, it should look fairly presentable and nice to a new renter. So there it is. Time to drop off the keys to the property management company. That could have gone better, but we have rented this little Kentucky house. I know in all of these properties, people want to know the numbers, so I'll give those here in a second. And part of the reason of creating this video is because we get asked weekly, what we do or how can we afford to live here in Mexico because we don't have traditional jobs back in the United States. We were looking for an affordable small rental property in the United States, and most of these types of properties are found in the Southeast, Alabama, Mississippi, the Carolinas, Indiana, and Kentucky. My original objective was a smaller city, 100,000 people or less, but Louisville looked appealing as it's a more affordable version of Nashville, Tennessee, and it's only 3 hours away from Nashville, where I grew up. We purchased the property last May for $87,000. Our biggest additional expense was the roof, and that was about $7,800. The rest of the materials cost about $1,000, and half of that went towards a new refrigerator. Otherwise, since the house was built in 2001, there weren't a lot of major repairs to do. We flew into Tennessee in July to visit family and then spend 3 or 4 days preparing the property for rental. We were able to save some money because of the help of family, and that made the project of cleaning it up and preparing it a lot more fun. But then the hard part, getting a renter. Because the rental market is so massive right now in the States, there are tons of property management companies, and they're kind of like realtors. There are good ones, but you have to sift through a lot of crap. I talked to more than 20 property managers, and when we chose one, we spent 3 months trying to rent it out with the first one, and then we switched property management companies, and it took another 3 months to get it rented. That was 6 months of paying the electric and water bills, paying someone to mow the yard, insurance on an empty house, and not receiving any rent money. If we lived in Louisville, we would have just managed it ourselves. The first property management company was invoicing us for things that we had already done when we were there. Super frustrating. Our total cost all in was right at $101,000, $87 for the house, $9 for materials, $1,700 in travel expenses, $700 for utilities, $1,000 to the property management companies, $1,850 for insurance and property taxes, which will be an annual expense. We first listed the home at $1,425 a month for rent and ultimately dropped that to $1,200 before we got a long-term rental. As we continue to build a small business while living here in Mexico, this is another source of income for us. If in the next year there aren't any major issues with the property, then perhaps we'll look to buy another place. This will also depend on how things are going up there in the States and whether we can find something better than we found here in Louisville. If you Google it, then 8% to 12% per year is considered a good return on investment. If we don't have any issues, don't increase the rent, and keep it rented year over year, then we should have a net of about $12,960 in rent. The property management company takes 10%, and they also charge for any calls to the property, $65 an hour plus expenses. After insurance and taxes, there's a net of about $11,000 minus any unknown repairs. If you want to get into the weeds a little bit more, I use calculator.net's rental property calculator to see the return and potential with an annual 5% vacancy rate, $1,000 a year for maintenance, and a 3% annual increase on all of our expenses. Our annual return is 12.21%. The calculator factors in increases in rent as well, and I'm not as confident the rental rate will continue to see big jumps, but we'll see. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Take care.